He knows what that means. So he always comes over when we're live. So here we are. Ooh, you got an alfalfa sprout. Okay. See, I don't have all this professional background like everybody else. But I have, I guess you could say I've been doing research, about Charlie Kirk. Before he got his neck blown out, I I don't know if I listened to what he said. I'm not right wing. I'm like probably about as far left as you can go or can be. So, I as I said, I'm as far left as you can be. So I didn't pay him any attention. But, once he got shot, I looked up, you know, what he said. And he was, and thank God was past tense, an effing racist, in every way. And I think he's no different than the person in the White House. His shtick, love that word, his shtick is, you know, the being right wing. He didn't graduate college. He's managed to, um, garner all of the support for everything he says. And um, I would still wait. I'd wait on this and see, what's gonna happen, how it's gonna turn out. I'm not convinced that this isn't some sort of conspiracy, friendly fire because the people on that team, you know, just didn't like him, didn't like his power. And also it may be that this was part of the part of the right wing's way to get a race war going because they thought, supposedly, they thought it was going to be a black guy. And the dude, I guess he's the governor of Utah. He said it out loud. He said the stuff you're not supposed to say out loud. Hi, one person who came in, he said it out loud. He said, I hope that this is a black or brown person and not one of us, but it's one of us. Yeah, a white boy from Utah who did it. I'm not I would love to hear why. I've heard part of it is his roommate was transgender and he didn't like the stuff that Kirk was saying about transgenders. Okay, that's fair. And I haven't gone into, his Discord, looked at any of that. But Charlie Kirk, as I said, was a racist, a deep racist. He said so many racist things. And I guess he kind of has taken over from Rush Limbaugh. They're probably high fiving each other in hell. And he's happy about that. Now, I don't know number one. You're still here, so that's good. You haven't left yet. Um, I want to go to that the woman on the subway, Iryna. I fi- I looked up the video. I'd seen other videos, but I looked up. You have to look up two different videos because the one, well, actually three. One stops when the guy lifts his arm up, right, with the knife, supposedly. The other video shows her sitting there like this. She's she's wearing tan pants. There's not one drop of blood on her tan pants. And then after he leaves, she's sitting there like this with her black shirt. There's no blood on her shirt, no blood on her neck. And then when she does turn over, there's blood in the seat. Excuse me. Where did the blood come from? The seat. Where did that come from? because it wasn't on her pants. And if she got stuck in the neck, she's either going to bleed from the front or the back. And then they show her go down onto the ground, and there's a barrier, a white barrier, so we cannot see her. She manages to hold on to her phone, keeps her phone, and then we see her moving, doing something, manipulating something, perhaps a big ass black bag of blood, because the next thing we see is a tremendous amount more blood. There was more blood spilled out of her, supposedly, than out of Kirk's vein. And we see the blood rush out like this, and then people walk past. There's another video. The third video shows a black man. He stops and he's leaning over her. He pulls her legs out. And then again, there's like another gush of blood. It's like, where is that blood coming from? Now, at this point, her face is red, but it still looks like she's moving. I mean, if she lost that much blood, she wouldn't be able to move. She's essentially like bleeding out. When you bleed out, you just your body can't move anymore. I actually have anemia, and I'm very weak, very weak. It takes everything for me to get up and move. So I don't see how she can be on the floor of the subway like moving when she's essentially lost, I would say, I don't know how many gallons of blood are in the human body. I think it's like 8. But she's lost like maybe not a gallon, maybe a half a gallon. And also, the thing about the guy who stabbed her, he has schizophrenia. It was not a racial crime. He, I will say this, perhaps he felt, you know, he didn't stab a black person because that's not what he wanted to do. He did stab a white woman, but that doesn't make him racist. Doesn't make him racist. I'm giving myself hearts. Way to go. Oh, someone's giving me, I'm seeing little things in the chat, but I'm not seeing that there's any people in here. So that's kind of weird. But now the thing with Charlie Kirk also and his wife, I saw her video where she gets up there as bold as brass with a bright smile on her face and a laugh in her voice. I understand part of that can be shock or nervousness. I'd say, girlfriend, you better be careful. You know, be careful what you say and who you say it to, and decide, what you want to do. I can't abide by a racist. You know, I cannot abide by a racist. And I don't think it's funny. Racism is not funny. It's not good. Hello, person. How are you doing? So, what do you think about this whole Charlie Charlie Kirk situation? I think you can't, you know, you can't spout crazy things. The universe, as I heard this lady say, she said, the universe is in ascension. That means that what comes out of your mouth and what you voice happens almost instantaneously. Charlie Kirk said that he did not mind that to uphold the Second Amendment if there are deaths as a result of that. He also said that some executions should be public and they should be swift and they should be televised and children should watch. So that's what he got. You know, he got offed in front of his children, wife, the whole world. Oh, I don't want June's Journey. Hello, person. How are you? How do you feel about Charlie Kirk?